Okay, good morning, everybody. I'm just going to mute it.
Hello.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi, everybody. Okay, so my name is Arlene, and I'm coming in from Los Angeles. We are doing a really kick-ass call. It's the part 2 of the Stylists of Monat. We're going to be sharing everybody's short stories here. So I'm just going to kind of get into it and introduce Sarah Ewing Reed. Love her story. Go for it, Sarah.
Hi, guys. Thank you so much for having me on. The first call was incredible, and I was kind of jealous that I wasn't a part of it. So thank you for asking me to be on. My name is Sarah Reed, and I am a senior executive director with Monat. I've been with the company for 2 years, and it's been, I never expected this. I was a hairstylist and a small salon owner before Monat, and I loved what I did. I found that I was spending a lot of time behind the chair, 60, 70, almost sometimes 80 hours a week, trying to build my clientele. And I wasn't looking for something different. I loved the products that I used, or so I thought. They had really catchy slogans and really cool packaging, but I always kind of thought shampoo was shampoo. I've never used anything as impactful as Monat. And so when I laid my hands on it, I knew the first time I knew that it was special and it was different than anything I had ever used before. But I've never done direct sales. I've never experienced what the business model was like. And honestly, I kind of had a negative feeling about direct sales or MLM. And so I didn't realize what it could bring into my life. And so I just started naturally talking to people about it. I've got another gal who's on this call. Her name is also Sarah Reed. And she was kind of the same way. And we've actually grown through this together. And what this has brought into our lives is just, it's a blessing. Never did I ever think that I would be a top income earner in a direct sales company. But, before Monat, I felt like I was missing a lot of time with my family. I was searching for results that I just could never get. I was looking for better quality in my services, not so much my products, but not understanding that in order to have that kind of quality, I needed superior quality in my products. And this has been all of that. I was very skeptical of the products when they were first brought to me, and they sat on my shelf for 2 weeks because of it. But like I said, when I reached for it, I knew that it was different. And the more that I started experiencing the products and testing them on my friends, my family, it was providing results that I had never seen before. And I've never used a product that had, the clinical data behind the ingredients, the manufacturing of their own manufacturing facility, their own distribution. And I never realized why that was so important. And now I clearly do. So, if this is something that you are on the fence about, ask for the clinical data, ask for, more information about our manufacturing facility and how our distribution works, because I will guarantee that, this is different than the traditional professional lines.
Can I ask you to share your story about how you were stuck for a while and then how you started rocket shipping? Because that's the part I really like about your story.
Yeah, absolutely. So when I came into Monat, I did really well. I was making a significant amount of money within 4 weeks. It was a very nice cushion. It was enough to pay my salon rent completely, but I wanted more than that. And I was stuck at that pay scale for about a year and a half. And it was because I wasn't respecting the business model and I wasn't taking it seriously. And once I really started learning how to do this, learning how to manage my time and how to lead my team, and understanding how this business model could really impact my life, I chose to go all in. And so I started learning and reading everything that I could, and I started applying it. And I went from, for about a year and a half, I did about $12,000 a month in sales. I mean, I could never do $12,000 a month in sales in my salon, which is amazing. But I went from $12,000 a month in sales to this month, we'll finish out at about $2.2 million in sales. And that happened in 9 months. So knowing today that I could never do $2.2 million in sales behind my salon chair, and I earn commissions off of everything that comes in. It's just an amazing blessing. So, I encourage you, if you are looking into this, really respect the model, see how the business model can benefit you and how you can apply it to your life, because this isn't meant to overtake your life. It's meant to work in when and where you can. And I've found that the busiest people are the most successful in this. So it's amazing. I still can't believe it.
That is so awesome. And again, Sarah, you are at the highest level of the company. It's unbelievable. 2.2 million. Okay. So thank you so much, Sarah, for jumping in and sharing your knowledge, because it really is huge. The stylists that when they jump in, they tend to kind of know it all. And really, when you implement the system that's there, you're living proof that it works. It's awesome. So that was my
exact problem. I felt like, because I was a stylist, I knew everything, so be open-minded, be coachable. That's the best advice that I can give. So thanks for having me.
Love you, Sarah. Okay, the next person up is actually Nicole. You ready, Nicole? Nicole Noose, where are you? Here we are. Here we go. Wonderful. Thank you for joining, Nicole.
Hi, everyone. Okay, well, I'm Nicole Noose. I'm an executive director with Monat, and this month is actually my 2-year anniversary. So I joined the last day of the month, because that's what you do. And when I joined, I honestly, when I went to hear about the products, I didn't know that they were direct sales. And so I was really interested in the products. I was interested in what they said they claimed to do. But then once they told me it was direct sales, I was like, oh, no, thank you. Because, I mean, as a stylist, anytime one of my clients joined a direct sales company, I was the first one they targeted, because they're like, you talk to people all day, like you could totally do this. And I was like, it doesn't ever fit with mine. So that was kind of like the thing I had in my head of what direct sales was. And I didn't want to annoy my friends and all this jazz. So we kept talking about it that night though. And she was talking about just how new the company was, and just like the growth they'd already experienced, and then just more of what the products were doing. And I just, I couldn't stop thinking about it. So I decided to jump in, and partly just because I was so enthralled with how new the company was, but also I kept thinking about clients. So many clients kept popping into my head. I had so many women who would cry in their chair about postpartum hair loss, or just shedding, or so many different things. I had one client, and she's the one that I always say is kind of the one who pushed me into this. And it wasn't because she told me, it was more because she was going through chemo. And I remember going in after hours so we could shave her head, so she didn't have to go through losing all of her hair. And so she was the one who kept popping into my head. If I had this product for her at that time, how life-changing that would have been for her. And so she's kind of the person that kept popping in my head of why I joined this company. And as a stylist, that's what we're here to do. We're here to help people. And I used to be a snob about brands and oh, I only use this and that. But I was really just uneducated about money. I was uneducated on what the professional products were. And so that's kind of why I jumped in. But also when I started Monat, I was in my 3rd trimester with my son. So I was pregnant with my 2nd, and I was staring a non-paid maternity leave in the face. At that point, I was only working 1 day a week. So it's not like I was making a substantial income, but it was enough to help ease the bills and help out with the expenses that our family had. And so knowing we weren't going to have that once I had my son was kind of daunting. So I kind of just jumped in with both feet and started asking people if they would give me their honest opinion. I was like, you don't have to love it. I just want to know what you think. And that's kind of how my story started. And then now 2 years later, I have over 7,000 people on my team. I just brought my husband home from his 8 to 5 job, and we stay home and we cuddle our babies and we make dreams happen. Like, it's just the best. And now we have that freedom to move wherever we want in the United States. And that's what I love about this. We are not stuck where we have, like, right here, because like with this job, you can do it from anywhere. And so for me, that was huge. I'm not stuck behind a chair. I love doing hair still, so I still freelance with like hair extensions and stuff, but I'm not doing that every day, scheduling appointments. And that was the other thing for me, like having 2 littles. Like when they're sick, you had to reschedule your whole day. It wasn't like you could just call in sick. And that was so hard for me with having the littles around. And so that was huge. That was a huge thing for me. It was maternity leave. It's now our retirement, but it's turned into so much more. Like we're still so young. I'm only 25 and we're debt free. And now we're able to dream like we've never dreamed before. So I always tell people, just go for it. And like, what's the worst that could happen? You try a product line that you're just like, well, I didn't fall in love with it, which you will, like, let's be real, right? But as stylists, we spend so much money on products anyway. Like, why not give this one a go? So that's kind of my short spiel. I
Love
could
it.
go on forever and ever.
Can you tell us what your husband does or did?
Okay, so he actually worked slash in sales, but also in like GPS ag industry. So yes, now he stays home with me and does like my behind the scenes stuff with the business. So he'll line up events, helps with the kids, and kind of he's in school now part-time, or full-time, so he does that too. So he loved what he did before. It was just the hours. He was literally around the kids for 2 hours a day. And so it really wasn't the lifestyle we were wanting.
That's amazing. Congratulations, Nicole.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for sharing your story. I love your story. Big hearts.
Yes. Oh, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Mm-hmm. And the next person coming up is Andreea. Andreea, we had to bring her on because she is a stylist that I used to work with as a color specialist. She is now a registered nurse. So she comes from really 2 different, aspects of the world, basically. Left brain, right brain. So Andreea, you want to share your story? Ready?
Sure, love to. So my name's Andreea, as Arlene mentioned. I was a hair color specialist with Tony and Guy, and worked with Arlene for a few years, and prior to that worked in some other high-end salons. I'm from Vancouver, Canada, and right now I'm actually coming to this call from Toronto. So I'm visiting, I grew up here, so I'm visiting some friends and family here and expanding my business over here through those connections that I have. So I have not been with Monat very long. I'm in my 2nd month, so it's been about 6 or 7 weeks only that I've been going at this. But I've already had quite a bit of success in the first month, which has been really motivating. And unlike you guys, I don't have the advantage of having a number of people come through my door every day in my chair to talk to. So I've had to, just make my own connections. But I ranked up twice in my first month and was able to pay off my investment and make a profit, which was really something that kind of just made me motivated to keep going. So my life before Monat, as Arlene mentioned, I'm actually an RN now. So I haven't been working in the hair industry for, 17 years or so, maybe longer. I can't remember. Anyway, I'm just aging myself here. But I chose to switch careers because the hair industry was getting a little bit hard on my body, and stupidly I picked another career that was just as hard on my body. But I've transitioned into actually teaching nursing now, so that I'm not in the hospital as much. So I'm also an educator, and I do research. So when I was introduced to the product from Arlene, I have to say, like other people, I was a little bit skeptical because of the network in which it was being distributed. I thought, well, if it's so great, how come I haven't heard about it? And so, I kind of came to her a few times over the past year and said, okay, tell me about the product. And for one reason or another, I wouldn't take action. But finally, a couple of months ago, I said, okay, give it to me. I'll sign up as a market partner, but I'm not selling it. And like some of the people have already said, I kind of had a misguided notion about MLMs from other negative exposures I've had to people in with different companies. But you know what, I decided just to open my mind and do my due diligence and research the product, research the company. And I really started to change the way I thought about this this business and this line of product distribution. And so I really did a 360 in my way of thinking, and started to look at how other people were running their business in different companies as well, and started to kind of open my mind about being more receptive to those other businesses as well. And I'm glad I did, because like I said, I had a lot of success in my first month, and I'm hoping to continue to go at that pace or advance even further, because I'm also a single mom. So even though I really like my job and I'm going to stay in my job, I'm doing this as a secondary source of income. And it's nice to be able to have that income coming in where I can save for my son's education, or just have some of those little luxuries like a travel fund and things like that. So what I would say to anyone who's skeptical or has any objections to even trying the product is, first of all, try the product. Let the product speak for itself, because honestly, it's better than many of the professional lines out there I've ever tried. But not only that, it offers solutions for so many different hair and scalp issues that I can honestly say that no other product line offers the same kind of spectrum of solutions as this product line does. And in addition to that, open yourself to doing your own due diligence to research this type of business structure and what it can do to change your life. As long as you're open to learning about it, you'll see whether or not it would be a good fit for you. And it can be very life-changing.
I love that, Andrea, because it really may or may not be for you, right? So that's really awesome that you say it in that way. You're so articulate. Awesome. Thank you for sharing, Andrea. The next person up is actually Amy Sloan. I'm so happy to have Amy on the call. Where are you, Amy? Amy, are you ready to rumble?
I can see me. Can you see me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. Hi, guys. First of all, thank you for inviting me to be on here. I'm sorry I missed the first one. I don't remember what happened, but something popped up. But I love listening to some of everybody else's stories, because there's a connection between all of us, and that we weren't real sure kind of in the beginning what this was going to be like, because in the hair industry, we'd never seen anything like it, right? And so for me, before I tell my story, I just want to tell anybody who's looking into it that I think hairstylists, first of all, are, they're always looking for that new and up and coming thing. And this is kind of the first time that we've had real innovation in the type that in any kind of the marketplace of our hair industry, the actual retail part. So, and anytime a business or a trade is not constantly looking to evolve, that's when it starts to die. And so I think that this innovation is kind of a really cool thing that's happening within our industry. So just to give you a little heads up on who I am, my name is Amy Sloan. I am a managing market mentor with Monat Global, and we are on track to be AED team this month. So I'm super excited for that. But, I've been with this company for about 2 years. I joined also, like Nicole, at the very end of July. And so it's kind of, I didn't understand. You don't know what you don't know at the time. And so when I joined, Monica Hobbs, who is my upline, came to me and she said, Amy, would you just give these products a try and see what you think about them? And personally, when I tried them on myself, I fell in love with them. When she first contacted me, I thought she was a rep. I thought she was just a rep for another product line that I hadn't really heard of. And so she contacted me and said, I represent these products. Would you be willing to meet with me? And you can use these products. They can be yours for a week. And I said, I have no idea what them being mine for a week is, but sure, let's do it. And so she met with me and she starts going through this binder. And I'm like, I've never had a rep educate me so much on a product. And so I was like, wow, I'm really impressed right now at your knowledge about these products. I don't think it was until about 2 weeks into it that I realized that I had joined a network marketing company. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm in network marketing. And so, and at the time, I honestly was kind of like, oh my gosh, I'm in network marketing. I really I wasn't too excited about it. But I very quickly realized that people needed what I had. And not only that, it was an opportunity for me to work smarter and not harder. And, I was now having products that my clients couldn't go to beauty brands and Ulta and Target and go purchase the products that I was endorsing the entire time in my salon. But they're like, I think I'm just going to wait for the leader sale. I'm like, okay, have fun with that. So it was nice to be able to have something that they could only get from me. But on top of that, it provided an opportunity for my clients to in turn change their lives as well. And so I was all of a sudden being able to make more money than I'd ever made before without even being behind the chair. And I too was working 40 plus hours in the salon, and I have 4 kids ranging from 13 down to 5. And I was working a lot. I was running, feeling like a chauffeur all the time, running them everywhere. And I just was worn down. I couldn't keep doing it the way I was doing it. And not many people know this part of my story, but at that time in my life, my husband and I had recently, we could no longer live in the home that we were in. We were in a very deep financial crisis, and we were drowning in debt. And so we had to short sale our home, and it was my dream home. We built that house. And so it was really hard to say goodbye to a house that I had my babies in, that I loved. And so we moved away, and we bought a house that was about a quarter of the size with 4 kids. We went from like a 4,000 square foot home to a 1,400 square foot home. And I still live there because it's a home, and it's our home, and your home is where your family is. But at that time, we were struggling in a tremendous way, and I was cleaning houses, I was painting furniture, doing anything and everything I could do to just try to put ourselves above water. And so it wasn't until about 3 months into my process of network marketing, which I did not mean to get into, but it wasn't until about three months into that I realized that this was the lifeline that I had prayed for. And so not only has it changed my life in a way where I'm able to go and get shoes and clothes for my kids without asking my mother-in-law to go buy them for them, so that we don't have to dig into some of our funds for bills. It's nice to be able to have some of that financial freedom. And I'm happy to say last month we cut up our very last credit card. That was huge for us to be able to say that debt is gone, and in 5 years we're on path to own our house. Now, again, my house is 1,400 square feet, and it's a tiny house, but I'm going to own it, so that's great. And I'm really excited to be on that journey. But the thing that I'm most excited about is not just the financial part of it, but it's the confidence builder that this company has provided for me. It's the relationships that I now have in this company and with the people that surround me. I'm inspired every single day by you guys and listening to your stories. And I see a future for myself that I've started to design. Now, I believe that this future was always in store for me because I'm a Christian, and I believe that God is in control of everything. But this was an opportunity that I could have passed up. And I'm so glad that it was kind of forced on me without realizing what was happening, because the products stood alone. The products worked better than anything I had ever seen. And I'm glad I didn't know that it was network marketing when I started, because I had a very negative view of what that whole industry was. And what I've realized is that it's now a passion of mine. I love network marketing because it takes people from all backgrounds, any type of education. Anyone can do this and be successful at it. If you're willing to work hard, if you're willing to learn and be taught and actually be an everyday student, then you will continue to grow in a way that you won't recognize your life in a year or 2 years from now. And so I'm most excited about the people on my team and the lives that are changing. I have girls on my team that are getting ready to get a free car and Cadillacs that I have never had any of those other products that I would endorse. Buy me a car or send me to Hawaii or any of those things, right? And so to be able to have the best product that I believe is out there, and then on top of that, have all these amazing rewards. I've never seen a company that has put back into their people as much as Monat has. I hope that wasn't too long. I tried to keep it at 5 minutes.
Well, your story is awesome, Amy. But can I ask you a question? So your debt, you've been in the company for 2 years? Mm-hmm. And you paid off all the monster debt within 2 years. That is incredible.
Every paycheck that I got about 75% of every single paycheck went to our debt.
That's amazing.
That was our focus. That was our focus.
And the cool thing that I wanted to add to Amy's story is that I'm a huge fan of Janet Simpson. And if anybody knows who's Janet Simpson, it's kind of a creative outlet that I think is really hilarious. I love watching when I can.
I don't know.
Amy does this thing where you share the product in a very entertaining way, and it's something you could not really do in the environment of a hair salon. So I don't know, I just huge fan.
Correct.
Thank you, Amy.
I don't know. Yeah, thank you for having me on here.
You didn't bring your glasses?
I did it. I didn't think you wanted Janet. You should have told me.
I should next time, Janet. Okay, thank you so much, Amy, for jumping in. Okay, the next person we have coming in, a very, very good representation for the male spectrum of the stylist. For some reason, I only got one guy on the call. His name is Josh. Josh, are you able to talk now?
I am.
Wonderful. Go for it.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. So my name is Josh Perry. I've only been in Monat for now 3 weeks as of today. I have researched the product for almost a year now and just really skeptical, to be honest. Skeptical about the fact that it is an MLM company, skeptical about any product that I put in front of my clients and I use on my clients. I do work behind the chair full time, 6 days a week. So anything that I put in front of my clients, I have to absolutely believe in 100%. And so it was one of those things that I did my research, and I saw my upline is Megan Leake, and I will never forget. I used to coach her as a kid in cheer and gymnastics, and it's funny, and I coached her little sister as well. But it's funny because I had the opportunity to see her grow in 7 months in a way that I haven't seen someone of her age, being 25 years old, grow. And it was one of the neatest experiences I had to watch her, and seeing that in 7 months she is driving a Cadillac paid for, and she's making great money. She doesn't do hair behind the chair anymore, and she is technically retired. It was a really cool thing for me to see. Now, I love to mentor people. I love to make a difference and help people make a difference in their lives, just as my mentors have done for me. So it's all about learning and just experiencing, and that's what I want to give back to people. So when I decided to join Monat, I was still skeptical, to be really honest. And I got my kit, and within 24 hours, I had 2 people sign up underneath me. I went to MMP within 24 hours, and I started to see kind of what was happening. And to be honest, I went to church that following Sunday, and there was a sermon that was talking about 5 steps of success. And I really felt like it spoke directly to me and what I should be doing. And it really just, I was like, okay, I'm doing the right thing. I think this is exactly what I need to hear. And 3 weeks later, I am now MMB, and so it's a very exciting step, and I appreciate all the support and love you guys have given me. But in this journey in the last 3 weeks, I don't have this big story yet about how it's changed my life, but I can say it has changed the way I approach things. And what I mean by that is every time that I get on a call like this, or I decide to do a video and send it out, there's a purpose behind everything. And if I were to give any advice to anyone, is just to make everything your own. I've had a lot of people message me and ask me, what are you doing? How did you get to MMB so fast? And honestly, I don't know. I don't know. I'm still in shock over, how fast I progressed. But at the same time, the only thing I can truly tell you from the bottom of my heart and humbly saying is that instead of me going and just copying and pasting things from a website and just posting on my Facebook page, I've just taken it as my own. I want to put my own personality in, because what I feel like it's done is it's made me genuine. And so when people buy you, and then people buy the product. So I want people to see me. I want people to realize what I am about and who I am about, and etc. Another thing is, I have not approached one of my clients about this. And this is the coolest thing about what I've done, is I have put stuff on social media, and then I'm in my salon, I put my products on my station. And so what that allows me to do is have my clients ask me about what it is. And from their interest of what's on my social media and then what's on my station, then that opens up a conversation for me. So I do have that advantage of having the salon atmosphere, but that's typically what it is. Now my team is compiled of hairdressers, non-hairdressers, and 2 spa owners. So it's kind of cool because I love the array. And, I just got another guy signed up. He's a spa owner as well. So we're like team guy over here. But we're having a really good time. I will say, you know, the question you asked at the beginning for us to ask was, you know, how would you approach another hairdresser with this? Or is that what you were asking? Okay. So how I have approached other hairdressers is simply just to try it. And I understand, and being transparent, I'm a very honest, transparent person. And it's just tell your story about how I was skeptical and how, you know, I didn't believe in it. But once I used it on my clients, what blew me away is the immediate results. You know, a lot of people have been talking about, you know, over a month it's going to detox your hair, it's going to do these amazing things. But what blew me away was the immediate results that they could feel and they could see in their hair as they were walking out the door. That was that blew my mind. I actually had one of my clients, and she's now an MP. One of my clients, I never talked to her about it. She wanted to try it. I used it on her hair, and she has extremely difficult hair, I'll say. She's been on my current product that I've been using as well for a long time, and she switched over to this. She washed her hair 3 to 4 days afterwards because, and usually she's a daily washer. 3 to 4 days afterwards, she washed her hair, and she decided to go and rewash her hair with the other stuff I was using. I met her for coffee the following morning at 8:30, and she said, "Will you please fill underneath my hair?" And I said, "Sure." So I fill underneath her hair, and it's oily already. And she said, "I just bought liters in this. I don't know what to do with this." She said, "But I don't want to just become a VIP with Monat. I want to become an MP, and I want to sell this." She said, "I'm not a hairdresser," she said, "but I think I can do this." So,
Rock and roll, Joshua. Can
yeah.
I ask you a question? What was your background? Are you were you an exclusive stylist to Align before and a platform artist? If I'm not mistaken,
Yeah.
have you heard this before?
Yeah, so I was with Recton Fifth Avenue for 3 years. I was a Recton artist for them. And then I was over North America. I was a color master and for Kevin Murphy. And so I specialize in color and did that for a year and a half, and then decided to come back and just focus on my clients behind the chair. I've
That's
been doing this
awesome. You've been doing for how long?
14 years.
14 years. That's amazing. Like you're bringing a certain level of credibility to this company because there's a lot of platform artists coming in, and some of them couldn't make it, and some of the bloggers, like there was a lot of people that wanted to be on this call. So thank you so much, Josh, for like representing the guys, because there's a lot of guys in the company, but they just I don't know why they just couldn't make it. So thank you for that and representing the platform artists too, because it really is huge. Is there
Thank
anything
you for
else you want to add?
um
I wanted to add that I'm a huge fan of your videos too. Sidebar. And when you say make it your own, you really know how to work the wigs. That's all I can say. You're amazing, truly. It's like, wow.
the
Okay.
only thing I do have to add this. So there's been a lot of people asking me. They're like, "Are you ever going to add us to that Monat think tank and all this stuff?" I don't know if you guys have heard of the Monat think tank, but I came up with this page, and I literally have like 1,000 requests, but I can't add you unless you add me as a friend. And so it's taken me a long time. So if you are waiting, please be patient because I am trying to add everyone on that.
You better add me, Josh.
So okay, I will add you. So what it is, the Monat think tank is just where hairdressers come together and we're coming up with ideas to make the content more simplified. So when we send it out to people in our industry that are non-licensed hairdressers, it helps them understand what we're selling and how to sell it and how to position things. So when they push it out into their investors and people who are buying, it's a lot easier to have that conversation. And so we're all coming together with these more technical questions, simplifying it and pushing it out.
Oh, that's brilliant. I love it. I can't wait to jump in that one too for fun factor. Thank you so much, Joshua. You're awesome. I love you. Okay, so next person speaking is actually Tracy Bordeaux. Are you ready, Tracy?
I am. Hello. Okay. I am Tracy Thomas, and I am from Wilmington, North Carolina, managing market mentor with Monat. And I guess it's been 6 months since this fun gig. And I'm one of the weirder ones. No one approached me with this business. I stumbled upon it. And when we say live Facebook is everything, it truly is, because that's how basically I found this business, through Kendall Weldon. And it was last December, I was sitting on the couch with my husband and looking for hair tutorials to better my craft. I'm a hairstylist, obviously, and been in the business for 13 years and always looking to educate myself. And I ran across Kendall, and she was using the products, and I reached out to her and I said, tell me more. And she told me basically it was naturally based, and told me all the benefits. And basically I had pretty much been sold on the fact that I knew it wouldn't grow hair. You all know we deal with reps all the time, and a lot of times what they say a product is going to do, a lot of times it doesn't follow through with it. So I told her to send me the samples. She did, and I could not get over how much better my hair felt. So I told my husband then, I said, look, I love these products. This stuff is amazing. I'd already done my research. I went back and forth on this company. I probably researched it for 3 months because I was skeptical. Same thing. Didn't want to tarnish my reputation with just any company. And so finally I looked at my husband, took a picture of his head because he was thinning. And I said, you're going to be my guinea pig. Let's give this thing a month and come back to it and see. So that was in December, the before picture. The after picture was the end of January. And I took that after picture of him and I was like, okay, this is my proof. I had not said a word to one of my clients. And it was kind of like my deep, dark secret. I was doing my research. And when I saw his results, I was jumping in the kitchen. I was like, oh my gosh, we have something. This is so cool. This is awesome. And I'd had MLM experience prior to this. I had been in a company. I cut back part-time doing hair because I have 2 little boys and wanted to do that to be home with them. So I'd already used another MLM company to bring in some more residual income. So I knew the value of residual income. And when I knew that no one in my area had ever even spoke of Monat, I was thrilled. So it was the beginning of February when I started sharing with my clients. One thing just led to another, and it's been amazing. I mean, this journey has been nothing but a blessing to my family, to my team. And I just recently paid off all my nasty credit card debts, which was amazing. I love it. I'm so excited about that. And just card qualified, managing market mentor. And I can't say enough great things about this company. One thing I can say, if you're interested in this business, I know a lot of hairstylists are so skeptical. I feel like we're very stubborn, just because we've been there, we've done that, we've heard it all. And I just ask for people to be a little more open-minded. Do your research and look into the science, the doctors that we have back in our products, and take the time to dive into maybe some more products that you currently have and see if you have that backing that we have. Compare it. Try to dig up the dirt and try the products. Just try it. I know there's a lot of people that I've heard that are, maybe knocking the product that hasn't even tried it. And I just ask, just try it before you knock it, because I'm so glad the company.
It's ignorance, really.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And so, sorry, you started 6 months ago?
6 months, yeah.
And you've paid off all your debts?
Yes.
I love these stories. It's so crazy awesome. Sorry, what's your husband do? I'd like to ask about the husbands.
He's a real estate developer. So he's self-employed too. So yeah.
So he understands this business model for you as well?
Yes, he loves it. He's very happy.
Of course he is. Of course he
Yeah.
is. Paid off all the debts, sister. It's amazing. Oh my goodness. Okay, thank you so much for sharing, Tracy. Your story's awesome. I love it. It's your Powerhouse, 6 months. And one thing I was going to add, I forgot to add in the beginning, is anybody who sent you this video, make sure if you have any other questions, you go back to those people, because we have an honor system in this company and we like to do that. So I like to remind people of that. And so the next person, thank you so much, Tracy. The next person going to speak is Sharla Fagan. Are you ready, Sharla? And Sharla's really cool because she's a former sales rep for 2 of the big companies as well. So thank you, Sharla. Go for it.
Well, okay. So I'm going to give you a little bit more of my background. I've been a hairdresser for about 24 years. Actually, I went to beauty school while I was in high school at 16. So pretty much this is all I've ever known. I have done many things in the industry, as far as I was an educator for a company. So I got to have fun, travel around, do hair shows and classes and everything. And then I became a single mom. So I couldn't do the traveling anymore, and I had to do something that helped provide for my daughter. So I left that company and started being a sales rep because I still wanted to do hair on inside the salon, but I still needed that security. And so I have been a sales rep, brand manager, just for different companies. And it's kind of neat that I got to experience that because I got to see the behind the scenes of the industry. And I did not like that at all. I noticed throughout the years of how the industry has changed. I got to the point where I decided that's it. I'm going to go back to doing hair full time again. I missed the passion. I missed the team feeling of being in a salon. I ended up actually deciding I've done all of this in the industry. I haven't been a salon owner yet. So I decided to open up my own salon. And I ended up taking over a failed business and just trying to build it up again. It's been about 3 years, actually. It'll be 3 years this September that I've had the salon, and still putting all of my money into it, just still trying to build it up. And I'm in California, by the way. So California, the salons are a little bit different. We've got mostly booth renters. It's very strong in booth rent. We have a lot of those little studio salons that are popping up all over the place. So it's a different industry in California. So my salon, I really wanted to focus on something different because I live in an area where we're saturated full of different salons. So I wanted to set myself different, and I'm actually an organic salon. I only use non-toxic products and color and all of that stuff. So I was trying to find something that would fit in my genre of business, and couldn't really find anything. I mean, I literally, guys, when you say I've tried it all, I've tried it all. Just because also I've been in the sales rep industry, I've been doing hair, I have tried everything, and there isn't a wow factor. Wow factor as far as how it performs, how the stylists like it, how the clients like it. And usually I go into in depth. I test it on myself, I test it on everybody. Didn't really find anything. And actually a client came in and asked one of the girls, one of the stylists, hey, my cousin is coming from another state visiting with me, and she uses these products called Monat. Have you ever heard of it? And we kind of look at each other and we're all, no, we've never heard of it. I'm like, oh crap, there's a new product line that I don't even know. I got to figure this out. So I went online, I started researching, and I ended up finding it was a direct marketing company, and automatically, and I was like, oh, not another one of those, because I've been in a couple of them before. And I was like, no, I'm not looking for that. I need something better for my salon. So I went home that night and I opened up my phone and I noticed the website was still on my phone. And I was like, I'm sitting on my couch, drinking my wine. I'm like, well, I'm just going to, kind of check it out a little bit more. So the more I got into it, the more I realized, like, wow, this stuff is amazing. YouTube, I went on all of the Facebook pages. I really did my due diligence. I really did research it a lot. Then I realized, like, okay, I really got to try this stuff. Like, if all these hairdressers are saying how amazing the products are, and these hairdressers have been in the industry for 20, 30 so years, and educators and all of that stuff. So I said, okay, you know what? There's something there. And gave it a try, and I saw the results, like right off the bat. Actually, first off, I tried it on myself. Then I brought it into the shop, and my hairdressers or my clients that have been doing, hair for years, they know that I'm always trying new stuff. So they're like my little guinea pigs. So I always say, okay, I'm trying a new product line. Let me know how it works. And they were so amazed by it. They wanted to buy it for me right then and there. Like, okay, when are you going to carry it? I want it now. And I'm like, well, actually I can sell it to you like on my website. So it was really neat, the fact that I didn't even have the products on the shelf and I was selling it to them.
Yeah.
That was when I realized, okay, there's something here. So I ended up bringing the line. And that was almost 3 months ago. So I've only been doing this for almost 3 months. And I have never sold this much retail in this matter of time. Like, it's just flying off my shelf. Clients are ordering it online. They're loving it. It's amazing.
Would you say, I have to ask you a question because you are a former sales rep for 2 large companies, correct?
Yes.
Can you name the companies?
Okay. I actually was a brand manager for Pureology.
Yep.
I was also a sales rep for Kevin Murphy and Unite.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, cool.
So those
For, in
are
terms of like what you sold, you're saying that you as a sales rep have not sold as much hair product than what you've done in Monat with a shelfless product.
as a salon owner stylist.
Right. Okay.
Because the territories that I had as a sales rep was big territory.
Districts. Okay.
So I mean, I know for sure I'll get there. As far as
I bet you
San
will.
Diego, it just launched. Monat is just launching in the area. So
Rock on.
that's what I'm going to be doing. Is another part of my story is I actually want to build stylists up again. What I have found in this industry is that we have lost that team effort. And remember, I was telling you about that. We have all these little different studio salons and everything. We don't get together anymore and have that team feeling. And I want to bring that back into the industry. I want to bring back that passion. I want to bring back that motivation, because I've seen so many stylists that are losing that passion because it's just a lot harder for us to be able to survive. We don't have insurance. We don't have, unless we pay it all on our own. We don't have retirement fund. If we get injured, what do we do? You know, if we hurt our feet, our arms, our hands, whatever, we don't have anything. Maternity leave. You know, one of the ladies that was on here was talking about she doesn't even have maternity leave. So I want to be able to go to stylists and let them know, like, look, there's an opportunity here that you can be able to have a retirement fund, make a little bit of extra, pay off your debts. There's a lot more.
Yeah.
And I can honestly say, because I was a sales rep, there is nothing out there that will give you bonuses on top of your commissions of retail. Never.
Pretty much hashtag boom on that, sister friend.
Yeah.
That's
I
huge.
was amazed because my clients are buying product for me. Yes, I make money off of their purchases. But because of the fact that I'm making so much of these purchases, I'm getting commissions. I'm getting thank yous from the company. I'm getting free gifts from them. You know, the whole vacations and cruises and all of that stuff, and cars. There's no other company that does that for hairstylists.
And that's pretty much Sharla in a nutshell. Thank you for sharing, Sharla. Honestly, I know you could go on and on, sister. We've got other people we got to go through. But sister, thank you so much for sharing, because your perspective as a former sales rep in now this direct sale model is very powerful, and as a stylist. So thank you so much for sharing your story.
I'm so grateful that I even started this journey.
Yes, and it's awesome to have you in the family of glory. You need to join Josh's group, sidebar. Okay, so the next person we have up, hopefully it works, is Jenny. She's having some issues with connectivity. Jenny, are you with us? Jenny?
I hope so.
Okay, go for it. If I can't see you, but are you there? What the heck are you?
See.
I don't know, Jenny.
Changed rooms, so.
Oh boy. I don't know, Jenny. Jenny, we had problems with Jenny's internet last time. So, is Georgia on the line? Georgia? We're losing everybody? What's going on here? Okay, Sue Craig. We're going to go with Sue. Where are you, Sue? Hello.
Hi. Thanks, Arlene.
Thank you for being so patient, Sue. Okay, go for it. Share your story, my friend.
Mine is my name is Sue Craig, and I'm in a southwest suburb of Minneapolis. I've been in the business this fall will mark my 37th year. My body has endured a lot, as you can imagine, and but I've been able to stay in it, and with very little issues. So what's awesome about that is I actually have my very first license I ever got that was issued in November of 1982. So I include my schooling as part of that. I got into Monat in November of 2016 by my upline, Julianne, who kept after me. Like the t-shirt says, nevertheless, she persisted. And she kept nudging me until we met in another friend's suite. And all she didn't have proper samples or anything. She literally squirted some Renew shampoo in a red Solo cup and handed it to me and said, if you can't have me blow out your hair, you at least need to try it. And so, of course, I did. And one shampoo right into the overachiever pack, and I was in. It was so remarkable to me. I decided to remove the word amazing from my vocabulary with Monat because I really feel like it's remarkable. So much so that my sister, who has been doing another MLM, she said to me, so you're going to do this? And I said, yeah. And she goes, me too. So because you never do anything. So that was kind of, she got right in underneath my wing, and we've been having a ball ever since. Sisters, if you've got a sister, get her in. I have kind of slowly gone up the ranks. I recently became an MB, but soon I'll be an MMB, which I'm pretty excited about, of course. I think if I were to say anything about where I'd been before, Monat would be, I don't know, we used to be revered, in the 80s and the 90s and the early 2000s. Hairdressers were really revered. We were sought out for education, product knowledge, and we had what we thought was many, many lines of great things. But I mean, I go way back to like Nexus and Jerry Redding and things like that, and now up into some things like Nicole and who just talked about Pureology and products like that. I mean, I've used everything, as you can imagine, over the years, being a stylist, a booth renter, an educator, not so much a platform artist, but definitely run the gamut in this industry. And it's been forgiving and unforgiving all at the same time. As now we get into these times in our lives right now as professionals behind the chair, we're exhausted, and we've been selling products, we've been using products, and now I go back to Mix Color Up, and I come back and my clients buying products right off of Amazon, and it just kills me. And I know that in many cases it's not necessarily diversion. It's actually it's purposeful by some of these manufacturers that are realizing that they themselves can get more sales if they go via Amazon. And so that's been really hard for me as well. Specifically when we rely on that as income, I feel like saying, hey, why don't you just write down my bank account number and just take some money out of my bank account instead. It's hard, but I think right now I've really felt like I've been educating my clients way more now with Monat. It's taught me. I've learned so much more about hair that I ever knew, and through this community that's Monat, and I just think so many people are missing out. My colleagues, when I get some resistance, and I think, like everybody has mentioned, try it. I'm like, use it. Here's a full-size bottle. Use it on your clients. Use it on yourself. Use it on your family. Use it on the dog. I've seen people do like before and afters of their doodles, and it cracks me up. This product it's remarkable. It's absolutely remarkable. It's changing lives. It's changed mine. I'm not stopping. I'm in this. It's been amazing. It's been an amazing journey so far. Like I said, I've only been in about 9 months. And kind of slowly going at it. But I think that I've discovered too that some of my salon, the salon I was at before I went to my suite recently, 3 months ago I went to a suite because the salon I was at said, we can't do it anymore. I got to demo it on my clients for 3 months as we were looking for a product to carry that was maybe organic, some of the buzzwords, blah, blah, blah. And they said, yeah, you know what, you can't use it. And so off you go. And I said, okay, well, here's my 30-day notice. And off to the suite I went up 3 blocks up the street. And that's my new home. And I love it. And I love the product. My clients love it. It's just been, there's nothing else. Nothing else compares.
Amazing. And Sue, how long have you been hairdressing?
37 years this fall.
37 years, and you've used, I would assume, a ton of products, and you're saying this is the best product line you've ever used.
Everything. I've used everything. I've sold everything. And I always say, I'm at an age now where it can't just smell good anymore. It can't just lather. It needs to do more. It has to do more for me. And now it is. There have been times when over these years, over these decades, I felt so like my hands are tied. I can't help anybody. They've got dandruff. They've got psoriasis. They're thinning, and I'm like, I don't know. Try this, or if you talk to a skin specialist, and now I'm finally at a point right now in my career where I can finally help people. Really and truly, I can help people. I'm solving problems. Got a gal, she's nearly in tears. She's someone else's client, but she comes to me for my Monat products, and her life is changing. And she says, Sue, I feel like people aren't staring anymore. I mean, it's changing lives.
You hit the nail on the head exactly. If any stylists are out there listening to this, your clients are coming to us to buy their products. There's a lot of them. So just little FYI, and they're not just coming to stylists, they're coming to non-stylists as well, like my sister, or other people that are non-stylists that are open to sharing this stuff. So honestly, do you have anything else to share? Because honestly, your share is really, truly powerhouse because of the years that you've been doing this business, and also your experience. Like it's true. And I think Andreea said it before, this offers a huge spectrum of solutions for our clients that you just said. Mm-hmm. And how refreshing is that after not?
Well, and even money aside, I mean, when I initially got into it, I just thought, all I knew was this was different, and I wanted to use it, and I was going to make sure that my clients used it. That's all I cared about. In my heart of hearts, that's all I cared about. Fast forward now, I see the opportunity, and I see the money coming in, and I see that every Friday I see money, and on the 15th of every month I see money, and I go, oh my gosh, this is just purely from sharing it. I've shared a lot of things. I have a really great pair of Eileen Fisher sandals that I probably have sold 50 pair, and you know what? Eileen Fisher's not sending me any money, so it's crazy, but it's a remarkable line, and my life is turning, and I'm thrilled. I couldn't be more thrilled.
I love it. Thank you so much for sharing your story, Sue. It's awesome.
Great, thanks.
Goodness. Okay, so the next person coming on is Tina Turner. Tina, you're working, I see. Are you able to talk?
Hey. Oh my gosh.
Yes. Yes,
my
go
phone
ahead.
is sitting hot on me.
We can hear you. Talk, my friend.
So how are you guys?
We're doing well.
Good. So I'm doing a highlight right now.
Yes, we can see that.
My client Caitlin doesn't mind because she's a VIP and she loves the product. She has been using it for probably about a year, and she already has gorgeous, beautiful hair, but she loves the product and she loves the Rejuva beads. So I've been a stylist for 30 plus years. I started when I was in high school, and being a stylist, you try all kinds of products, right? I got away from doing hair for a few years in a plastics factory, and I got divorced in 1999, and then they wanted me to go to second shift to work, and I had a kindergartner to take care of, so I knew I couldn't do that. And so that kind of changed my thoughts to go back to what I love, which is doing hair, helping people. So I decided to start doing hair in Lapeer. And I, of course, trying all the products, was losing my own hair due to stress, due to, stressing about money and children and doing it all on my own. So when I was introduced to a different product, which is a health product, it helped me in 2009. In 2010, I was introduced to that product line pretty heavily, which is another MLM. And that trained me and taught me what MLMs can do for the life of people and for their bank account. So when I was introduced to Monat by a friend of mine from the other company, I was introduced 2 years ago in April. I was sent to the very first, what did they call it? It was the very first get together for Monat with the company in Michigan, in Grand Rapids. Do you remember that, Arlene, at all? So that was 2 years ago. And I knew then that this company was different. I was the only one doing it in the Lapeer area. And I, of course, was introducing it to my salon and to my clients. And I, you know, being a stylist, carrying regular products, they don't do anything for people. I realized I couldn't carry the minoxidil or the Nioxin anymore for people because I didn't believe in the chemicals anymore. I went all organic. I went with a natural hair color line, trying to keep the chemicals out of the salon and off my client's head. So I told everyone when I found a product that really worked, that was natural, I would share. So when I got handed that sample, a lot of times we stylists get samples and we don't even try them, right? Because we're like, oh, it's just another product.
I hate it when you put it in the shelf, in the drawer.
Yeah, I do that all the time, right? Well, she handed me it, and she handed me the men's. Remember the packet of the men's? So that's the one I tried, and I knew right away there was something different. So I jumped on board, started sharing the product. Almost all of my clients are VIPs. Almost all of the stylists in the salon are market partners sharing, which is really cool because I built my team. It's super fun. We get to go to the Vegas trips where I'll see you, Arlene. And
I know, that was fun.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's so awesome to have you on the call, Tina, just because it's true. It's been hard to get you because the last time you disconnected somehow. So honestly, I love your story because you are another 30 plus year hairdresser. And again, that you, in your experience using all the products that you've used, you've never found anything that works as effectively as this one either.
No, never.
I love it.
And all kinds of hair too, for hair growth, for smoothing, for volume, for whatever the need is.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And I also just paid off a pretty significant credit card, which I've been concentrating on.
Rock
so I'm
on.
super about that. So thank you, Monat, for that.
That's so crazy. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. Okay, so guys, thank you so much for that, Tina. We have another man. I have to interrupt the call really quickly to put him on. It's Robert DiBartolo. Thank you, Robert, for jumping onto an internet connection. Could you please share your story?
Can you hear me at all?
Yes, we can hear you, and thank you for jumping on.
Oh, super. Oh, no problem. You want me to share my story of Monat, or what is the reason?
I'll put the format right beside, just so you can see it in the chat box. But it's basically, yes, share your story. Go for it.
All right. Basically, I'm 30 years in the profession. I've traveled. I've worked for every major manufacturer. So basically, from the beginning of my career, I started working with Clairol, to be exact, which is a really old name. But from there, I worked with every major manufacturer worldwide. And my main, one of the main things is like that I worked also throughout U.S., Canada, and Europe mostly. And then what's happened over the 30 years, you kind of after so long of being on the road doing all that, you end up kind of getting tired of it all. So 3 years ago, I decided I was going to just kind of stop and literally just kind of focus on salon work. And then there was a lady called by one of my clients walked in with a product called Monat, which I dogged for literally, I dogged it for about, the whole hour that she was with me because I didn't want to believe that after seeing so many products over so many years, you kind of get jaded and you think you know it all. And that was the problem, is I thought I knew it all at that point. But what happened was that She forced me to use the product on her because someone had told her that it would work on growing her hair. I again reluctantly did use it. I put it on her with one condition. I had one condition: I can take a picture, and when it didn't work, I was going to laugh at her. But what happened was, about a month later, actually it was 5 weeks to exact, to the date that I put it on her hair. Her results were so remarkable that I couldn't deny it. So I ended up contacting the lady or the individual that she got the product from, and then she connected me with a lady called Jennifer Caldwell, which I'm so ever so grateful for at this stage of at this point in my life. And once I contacted Jennifer, I wanted to use more of the styling product because I'm a stylist, I'm a hair styling guy. And once I started using the styling product, it was incredible. So now here was this skeptic that was literally, you know, didn't want to believe anything could be anything better than what I was using. Here was a skeptic now that literally jumped on board. And I got to be honest, for the first 6 months, I kept trying to prove it wrong. I literally kept trying to prove it wrong. Every time I used it on someone's hair, I was thinking, this is the time it's not going to work, and I'm going to prove it wrong. And what happened over the 6 months, it actually convinced me that I was, that I couldn't keep my head under a rock the way I was, and that I had to move on with it and do something with it. So let's shoot to where we are right now. Here we are. So I'm in a year in with Monat. Life altering for me, absolutely, in many ways. Self-growth, not only that, life altering, of course, monetary. Anytime you do something different, anytime you jump into something that's a little bit different, you're always going to see a monetary gain. It's always going to be a little different than what it was. I mean, even if it's 10 cents, it's still a monetary gain. But in this case, it's not 10 cents, it's a hell of a lot more than that. But what I'm getting at, what I'm alluding to is that Monat has been the biggest blessing in my life. And I'm so glad that my client forced me to use it on her based on, what it's doing for me right now. What I can honestly say, styling-wise, I feel that with Monat, we do have almost an unfair advantage over someone, and I'll explain why. It's just because the moment they put it on their hair and you use it on them, their hair is going to feel exceptional. The problem is, if they don't buy it and use it, their hair is going to go back to feeling like crap. And so we have an unfair advantage with Monat. It's one of the most incredible hair care lines that I've ever used. And again, I'm coming from the likes of Shuamora, Kerastase. I'm going from Bumble and Bumble to Orbe. I've used them all. I worked personally with a lot of the lines. So, and from inception to where they are now on shelves or in salons. So, this product has been incredible for me. I mean, I don't know what else to say.
That is honestly.
If anybody, I always say this because I was the skeptic. I was the biggest skeptic you're ever going to meet.
I love that you're representing the skeptics, because we love the skeptics. When the skeptics flip over, you guys.
As a person that was the skeptic, if I can, well, I tell you, if anybody's out there that's listening to this, that it's absolutely on the fence or anywhere, and I can honestly tell you from my end, as someone who's in the profession, someone who really didn't want to believe, jump on, be part of this whole thing, and let's have fun together. It's been the most incredible ride for me. Met some of the most amazing people. Not only that, even the most interesting thing is, like, I'm starting to learn from a lot of people that aren't hairstylists, which is pretty unique. As hairstylists, we always think that we're, above everyone when it comes to hair care. But I got to tell you, when I watch my wife use it on her hair, or use my clients using it on their hair, and they telling me ways that they use it that I would never even dream of, actually it's pretty remarkable that it's allowing me to have a much more open mind. And I don't know, I mean, for me, biggest blessing, amazing line. Styling wise, you got to try this on.
I love how you shared that, because how you're talking about, because stylists, we do have that expertise level, and so we do have that ego thing that's hugely in our way. And what you just said about non-stylists teaching you, that's very humbling. That's huge. And the one thing I wanted to ask you, because you have repped so many product lines, these big manufacturing lines, etc., what is the biggest difference? Like, would you say of all the companies you represented and versus Monat, in terms of the word integrity and caring, would you say that
Well,
this really helped? We really want stylists to win, or even people generally.
Well, I got to tell you, I'm glad you actually asked that question, because integrity. I am always a firm believer of integrity is this way. When I worked for a manufacturer, they promised us one thing as hairstylists: the product would never be diverted and never go onto a drugstore shelf. To me, that's integrity at its fullest. The problem is they never delivered on that. Every major manufacturer has their product either on a Walgreens shelf, on a Dwayne Reed shelf, on a Costco shelf, everywhere but where it belongs is in the salon. Monat, on the other hand, is the only product line that cannot be diverted that way because it's directly to the consumer. So if I have the product in my salon, that I know that product is in my salon. Now, other people are selling it, yes, but at the same time, it's in my salon, and it's not going to be on a retail shelf, drugstore shelf, where it actually makes the product look like it's garbage. Because so for me, the integrity of Monat that Monat brings up, that's, for me, is everything, because they make sure that the product is going direct to consumer. It's the best. Now, as far as integrity with the product line itself, I've worked for manufacturer, and I won't mention the names, where we used to take a product that didn't work in one bottle. All we did is re-smell it, put a new smell in it, put it in another bottle, and call it something else. So, and those people know who they are. So, but we did that. I remember that. So the type of integrity comes from manufacturer. Is never to represent the hairstylist. It's always to represent their bottom line. The integrity that Monat is representing to me, and this is a personal analysis, is that it actually believes in believes in me enough to say, we're with you all the way. We're going to help you make it all the way. The product is going to remain, I call it professional. It's going to remain professional all the way. Go do what you have to with it and make sure that everybody hears about it. So for me, the integrity of Monat is absolutely incredible, and that's why I'm a firm believer of it. If I wasn't a firm believer of it, we wouldn't even be communicating right now.
Right. I can see it and feel it in the way that you speak. Yeah. Thank you so much, Robert, for joining this call. You are seriously awesome. Thank you again for joining.
My pleasure.
Jenny, are you up? Are you on?
I think so. Can you hear me?
Yes, go for it.
Oh, yay. Well, hopefully
Oh, no. Jenny has an internet connection issue. Oh, sweet Jenny. Oh, sweet Jenny. I don't know what's happening in her house, but she always has these internet issues. She's got to upgrade. She's got to upgrade. Oh, my goodness. Jenny? Okay, we're going to go to... Are you there? Oh, my gosh. We can't hear you, Jenny. You're breaking up, sister. Oh, my goodness. Okay. Linda, are you free to talk? Are you ready?
So. Can you hear me?
Yes, go for it. 3 to 5 minutes. Love you.
I'm actually signing up a VIP right as I'm listening to you guys. Okay. So my name is Linda Arpink, and I'm from Vancouver, BC. Sorry about that. I've been a hairstylist like many of you. Started in high school, so started probably 1978, so 30-something years. I'm very slow at doing this right now, so my rank is just MP. And like many of you, I've tried millions of products. And I was a skeptic, and I didn't want to be involved in another multi-level marketing product because I've done it before, and I'm not a salesperson at all. So a lady gave me it to try, and I said, okay, there's no commitment. I tried it on my clients and myself for about a week, and I just said, okay, I'm signing up. I've never seen or felt the results that I saw so quickly. And So I've just been sharing it with my clients, and yeah, they're loving it. I'm loving it. Oh, what happened?
Would you say that you've used most of the products out there on the marketplace?
Yeah, tons. Like just about everything. And I can actually show you a picture of my station. It still has lots of shit on it. Oops, crap. I mean, sorry. I mean, I have lots of stuff on it.
I've been, my friend.
That's right.
So in your experience of 30 plus years, would you also agree that Monat does what it says?
Oh yeah, totally.
It's not like a one-all wipe the whole line yet, because they're still launching new things. It's not the total whatever, but it is a great compliment to many lines. Would you?
Well, I would say everyone can benefit from it, right? Every type of skin, hair type can benefit from it. You're thinning or balding, scalp issues. I did a lady one time, and I've never seen a scalp that was so. Oh, I mean, as stylists, you'll understand this. Her scalp was white and crusty, and then it was like scaly all over, and she was very sick. And I said, oh my God. So I was like, I did 2 shampoos. I was scrubbing her head, and then I used the oil on it, and it was a little pink, but I got all rid of that white, black, scaly crap on her skin. It was awful. It was so weird.
Oh my goodness.
I've never seen it before. But it was like, I felt like, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but just seeing her scalp, I thought, oh, now it can breathe. Because it just looked like, barnacles, really. Like, you know how rocks have white barnacles, scaly, on her skin, on her scalp. It was awful.
TMI. That's crazy awesome. Wow.
Yeah. Anyways, so
what would you say to a person who says, no, it's one of those pyramid things?
Well, like that other gentleman that I heard, and I use this because I heard him on the Zoom before, it's just a different direct sales. That's all. I did direct sales in skin lines, so, and I'm not really into aesthetic skin, but I like the product, and it's now gone under. So I'm going to dedicate more time to the Monat because the other one was taking up most of my time and money. So I'm glad it kind of went under, because now I can really work more on the Monat, which is a better fit for me, for my business.
Yeah, you brought up a really good point, because basically this particular company has no competition.
Right.
And that is huge. And we're also a debt-free company on track for $1 billion in 2018, under 4 years. So that is huge. So thank you, Linda, for sharing that.
Okay, no problem.
To the next person, which is Shannon Harris. Shannon is a blogger, online social person. So go ahead, Shannon.
Who am I? Hi, guys. My name is Shannon Harris, and I'm in Seattle, representing a very cloudy summer day today. So I've been a stylist since 1994, licensed and trained by Jean Morez, who is somebody who's very well known in the Northwest, and very reputable, incredible group of stylists. And I just want to say, before I even start talking about myself, I want to compliment you, Arlene, for getting everyone together now yet a second time. And also, yeah, I'm like, bravo. And everybody who's been on the call, and whoever is not on the call but listening online, good for you. It's been an hour and a half, and I feel like I need to do some jumping jacks because I get, so way to be committed. And all of the incredible things that have been said today on this call, I'm not sure I can add a lot more to it, other than saying I'm a stylist who works behind the chair in a specialized salon for many years. I'm a hair designer. I do lots of updos and styling and lots of product knowledge and cutting, design, and styling. And I worked with a partner who did all of my color. So we're a specialized salon business model. And I guess...
Sorry, I think one of the things that you really brought up once was that it's a shelfless product.
Yeah.
Was it the way that you described that was really awesome? Could you explain that?
Yeah. So when I went independent and started doing mobile styling and styling on my own, because even though I've been a leaser and a sole proprietor for many years before that, I always worked in salons that didn't run their business that way. They wanted us to be, they want you to be independent and carry all your licenses and run your own business, but they run the salon as if it were still that kind of commission base. So I just wanted to address that first. She's not on the call anymore, but I can't remember her name now because her name's not right up there, but she talked about the salon not allowing her to carry this Monat product. And I'm not sure if that's the reason, but I can relate with that. Going independent, and I don't blame the salon industry for that or the salon I worked for. It's just once you go independent completely, I realized that I'm having a tough time giving my clients the 100%, the 5-star client service that I've always been accustomed to giving them, because I can't afford to put a shelf full of products, in my home or travel kit or wherever I end up working for the day, in a corporate office or somebody else, a client's home. It's not realistic for me to carry all that product around. And C, even if I did, I'm not allowed to offer it online. We did have another product line that we were providing our clients for about a year. And I had to sign the contract through the distributor saying, you cannot provide these products online, period. So I really, not only was I expected to put the shelf to invest in thousands of dollars worth of product, I then couldn't give my clients an option when they needed to restock their products or when they needed to get the product that I tried on them 3 days prior easily. And the only way that I was able to do that was either drop it off to them or mail it to them and pay shipping. So I congratulate Monat. Thank you so much for putting this business model together, a shelfless product line, really, that independent stylists can provide their clients, and they don't have to worry about any of that stuff. They can stay competitive. They can keep making, a profit and make a living, which everybody deserves to do when you're in business. Let's just say that out loud. It's not because this group of people is a group of sales sharks. I can tell you that. It's more about solving a problem, a gap in the market, which Arlene, you touched upon. Currently, there's no competition because the salon industry and all of these manufacturers are not allowing themselves to even be competitive in this area. So
I thought you brought a really good point of, like, this is one of the only other companies that, as far as I know, gives personalized websites for each person, so you can actually benefit as an individual. So thank you so much, Shannon, for adding to the call, because I really liked your terminology of being a shelfless product line. It kind of burned in my mind when you said that to me once. So the last person who's going to be speaking, thank you so much, Sarah, for being so patient. The first Sarah Reed opened the call, and the second Sarah Reed is going to close the call. Sarah is a director in the company, so go for it, Sarah. Thank you, Shannon.
I'm the other Sarah Reed. There's 2 of us in the company, which is so incredible. Sarah Reed is my direct sponsor. She's the one that brought me into this company. And we met accidentally on a chat room for hairdressers, and we just joked that we had the same name, and it kind of all fell in place from there. She had approached me about the product, not necessarily the business, but the product. And I had just opened my own salon and was not interested at all. I had just bought into Kevin Murphy, and I thought it was amazing. I thought it was wonderful. And when you buy into a company like that, the smallest price that you can pay is around $3,000. So I had to spend $3,000 on the product. When I got it in my salon, I was really disappointed that they send you kind of the crappiest products, or the products that you're not going to sell the most of. Arlene, did you have a question? Oh, okay, I just saw you pull your thing up. So I wasn't interested at all. So she kind of kept on me a little bit here and there, and I decided to try the 30-day money-back guarantee because I thought that that was an amazing offer. I don't see that anywhere in the salon industry. So I ordered it and shampooed my hair and jumped out of the shower and was trying to be a skeptic. So I had my hair flipped upside down. I was blow drying it like crazy, and I popped my head up to say something to my son, and I was shocked at what I saw. I know you can't really tell today, but I have crazy, textury, really frizzy, curly hair. And my hair looked like I had already flat ironed it or I had already had a Brazilian blowout on it. I was so shocked. And it was already dry in half the time. And that was my first use. So I called Sarah back and I said a lot of swear words and I signed on, not realizing what I was doing. I had no idea it was an MLM. I had no idea that's what I was doing. I thought I was just bringing a product line into my salon. I thought she represented a product line just like Kevin Murphy or Pureology or any of those. So I have wrote down a list, and I hope it's okay to say these, but I wrote down a list of products that I have used. I have used Kevin Murphy, Pureology, Alterna, R&Co, Bumble and Bumble, and Aveda. And I have been trained specially on a lot of those. And let me tell you, this rocked my world. I've never had a product line that I used the entire product line. I had like a secret drawer of like, let me pull this out for this type of hair. Let me pull this out because I hated the mismatched look in a salon. So I had my secret drawer of goodies. And this line, honest to God, I have the entire line in my bathroom and I use the entire line, all of it. I've never seen a line so compact that it's not overwhelming with what do you do? Not to blow out Redken right now, but when you walk down that aisle, even as a stylist, I'm like, hold on, I don't know what is what. There's so many choices. So I like that this is a really compact, power-packed line. I also love that, sorry, I've got notes over here. I also love from a stylist point of view, I didn't ever have the money to fully stock my salon all the time and then offer flash sales and promos. This company does that for us, and they have amazing flash sales with like the towel wraps, headbands, extra oil. I mean, their flash sales that they do for us bump our business like you could not believe, and I can't offer that to my clients in a salon. I did forget to say that I was a stylist for 13 years. I am now retired, and that is incredible. I get to be the mom and the wife that I have always wanted to be. And so my life back then was very, very chaotic. I'm kind of a go-getter and I hate to fail. And so I go for it. And so when I was in the salon, I thought my life was perfect. I opened my own salon right next to my kids' school on purpose so that they could be there with me all the time. If they were sick, they were sleeping in the chair, my clients were like, let's do this. I would rather you do my hair than cancel me. They got so used to my boys being there. My boys pulled foils and washed color bowls, and they lived at the salon with me. And I thought that was best case scenario, to be able to do both, to be able to be mom and be stylist. It's really hard to balance both. Jump forward now, I can't believe that I did that chaotic life, because now I get to take them to school. I get to make their breakfast. I get to make their lunch. I get to go to the school and help out. I get to pick them up from school. I haven't missed anything since I retired. Also, we're about to retire my husband, and that is incredible.
Sorry, what does he do?
He's in sales as well. So he was really on board with this business model. So I should jump back a little bit. Once I jumped on to Monat, I didn't realize what it was, like I said. And I was so excited about it that I messaged one of my mentors that I trained with out in California. And I look up to her so much. She's a celebrity stylist, and she trained me, and I messaged her nonstop about life and hair and all of that. So I reached out to her, and her exact words were, ew, it's an MLM. That's disgusting. And it broke me. It broke me. So I didn't start working this business until 9 months ago because I was embarrassed of it being an MLM. So I brought it into my salon knowing that it was an awesome product, and I was using it as that. And I wasn't using it as a business at all. What changed for me was I had a situation arise with my kids, and it pulled me from the salon. And stylists don't have paid vacation and sick leave and all of those things to turn back on. And I was making no money, and it was really, really scary. And I had people reaching out to me saying, I need to stop by and grab some product. And I would say, oh, I'm sorry, I can't be in a salon right now, but here's my website. And I was like, I'm making money. I'm making money on my website. This is crazy. So I called Sarah Reed as my best friend, not as an upline, told her what was going on in my life. We were crying together. And she's like, Sarah, it's time. Like, I will fly out to Montana right now if you tell me you're in. And we jumped in, and her and I have held hands, and we have ran like crazy for the last 9 months. And she went from MMB to SED, and I went from market partner to AED. And we jumped in and we did it. So I just encourage everybody, whether you're a stylist or not, this is the most amazing gift that anyone has ever accidentally put into my lap.
It's very hard to, like, honestly, congratulations to you. In 9 months doing what you've done, paid off your debts, and you're about to retire your husband. That is phenomenal, like truly phenomenal. And you brought up a really good point with the business model. And Eric Worre, the guru of network marketing, he always talks about the ratio of entry to starting a business versus the long-term residuals of what you've done. It's mind-numbing what all you stylists have done. Is there anything else you want to add, Sarah, or I think you pretty much were like a smoking gun there. But
yeah, I tried to get it compact and ready to go. My biggest thing was being in the salon. I was rock taping my wrists, my neck. I threw my back and my neck out at least once a month. My body was falling apart, and I didn't realize how much pain I was in till now. I'm retired, and I'm like, oh my God, you know, my poor body in just that 13 years.
How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 33.
Wow.
Yeah, and my body, I mean, I was falling apart big time.
Wow. I can feel it in your anyway, you're not alone. But Sarah, thank you so much for closing the call. Thank you everybody who joined this call. It is a very long call, but it's a very important call because there's been a lot of changes since the first one. So again, thank you everybody who was able to join and participate in this call, and the people who couldn't, maybe another time. And so for anybody who was sent to this video, please go back to the person who sent you this video if you have any other questions. And yes, thank you again, everybody.
Thank you so much. So honored to be here.
And I'll just do one screenshot here of the leftover people. Thank you, you guys. Have a great day.